My own father told me I was old enough to handle it on my own, then walked away with his new wife. You're old enough to figure it out, my own father told me, then turned his back and walked away with his new wife and her kids. I sat on that cold bench for what felt like an eternity before I finally called my grandmother. Hours later she arrived, not alone, but with a team of lawyers. When he finally returned from his lavish trip, he found his bank accounts frozen and his house completely empty. My name is Mia, and I was just 14 when my father dropped me off at Central Station, left me sitting alone on a cold metal bench with nothing but a worn backpack and $20, then drove off with his new family. For 6 agonizing hours I waited, convinced he'd come back. I watched trains pull out, bound for places I couldn't possibly reach, all while he was posting pictures from a luxury resort, toasting the ones who matter most. He genuinely believed he was getting rid of a burden, never realizing that the grandmother he'd forbidden me from seeing was worth $80 million, or that the worthless daughter he abandoned was about to inherit $10 million at 18. What truly haunts him from his prison cell isn't the money he lost or his 18-year sentence. It's the knowledge that his ultimate betrayal was what finally set me free. In Dad's car, the silence had always been heavy, thick with unspoken words. But today it felt like trying to breathe through wet wool. I pressed my forehead against the cool passenger window, watching the familiar streets of our neighborhood blur past. I didn't know then that I was seeing them for the very last time. My worn backpack sat between my feet, packed with a few essentials for what Dad had vaguely called a little trip to sort things out. Dad, are we going to be back before Monday? I asked, trying to break the heavy silence that had stretched between us since he'd picked me up from Mom's apartment that morning. I have that history presentation. Remember, the one about the Civil War I've been working on for weeks. His knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. You'll figure it out, Mia. A cold dread slithered down my spine at his tone. This wasn't the dad who used to help me with school projects, who'd stay up until midnight cutting out cardboard pieces for my 3rd grade solar system model. This was the stranger he'd become since marrying Sharon 6 months ago. But Dad, please just stop talking for a minute. Okay, I need to think. I swallowed hard, tasting the bitter coffee I grabbed at Mom's before he arrived. She'd been passed out on the couch again, empty wine bottles creating a glass city on the coffee table. Dad had looked at her with such disgust when he'd come to get me, muttering something about no wonder under his breath. The train station loomed ahead, its red brick facade and clock tower looking like something out of an old movie. Dad pulled into the drop-off zone, not even bothering with the parking lot. My stomach twisted. Aren't you coming in with me? I asked as he popped the trunk. He was already out of the car, yanking my backpack from the back with unnecessary force. I scrambled to follow, my legs feeling shaky on the pavement. The November wind sliced through my thin jacket, the same one Sharon had said made me look homeless at Thanksgiving dinner. Here, Dad said, shoving the backpack at me. His eyes kept darting toward the station entrance, then to his watch. You're 14, Mia, old enough to figure things out. Figure what out? Dad, you haven't even told me where I'm going. Or, that's when I saw them. Sharon stood just inside the glass doors of the station, her perfectly manicured hand resting on her daughter Brittany's shoulder. Brittany, 12 years old and blonde like her mother, wore the kind of designer coat I'd only ever seen in store windows and never dared to dream about. Sharon's 8-year-old son Connor was absorbed in a game on his phone, oblivious to everything. Sharon caught my eye and smiled. That cold, triumphant smile I'd seen her practice in mirrors when she thought no one was looking. Dad. My voice came out small.